The prosecution officially rests, and the evidence in the Lindsay Clancy trial is officially closed. Day 21 of Lindsay Clancy's trial has wrapped up. It's a great day for a great day. My name is Sydney Rushing. I'm a criminal defense attorney in the state of Michigan. Now let's talk about it. The morning started off with Dr. Satoff being back on the stand to continue his testimony. He says that Lindsay told him that the voice didn't give her specific details like how to unalive herself or the kids. He said that having no instructions as to how to do it or being able to execute the decisions, including being able to get a phone call and return it in the process of all of this. Certainly the phone call was not expected, and that it is surprising that she was able to accomplish all of this without any other kind of direction from the voice or a plan. He thinks that this shows that Lindsay was on some level in control. He confirmed that someone experiencing psychosis can still identify right from wrong, and some people who experience command hallucinations will push back if it's against their values. He said that Lindsay believes she was suffering from a mental disease or defect during the incident. He considered a bipolar 2 diagnosis for her and would have avoided SSRI meds. He discussed the difference between over-medicated and just having adverse reactions to medicines without being over-medicated. When asked if he thought whether Lindsay was over-medicated or not, he took his time to answer and said that she had significant side effects, but that he did not believe that she was over-medicated based on the records. His opinion is that she was capable of understanding right and wrong on the date of the incident and that she is criminally responsible. He said that she was able to return Patrick's phone call and able to hide what was going on at home and that it was a sign, and it alluded to the fact that if she did not call him back, he may have returned home sooner out of concern. She was aware of the time, she had locked the door, and she did not confess or report any auditory hallucinations to Patrick when he got home, only that the kids were in the basement. And then he had to face cross-examination with Reddington. He says that he gets paid by the university and he does not know what the university charges for his expert testimony. He's agreed that it is beneficial to interview someone closer to the time in the incident, noting that he didn't speak to Lindsay until this year, which is 3 years after the incident. He has treated women with postpartum psychosis in the 80s and the 90s, and they were patients at a state hospital. He confirmed that postpartum depression is from 4 weeks to up to a year after giving birth. He said that symptoms of postpartum depression and depression are the same. They discussed Lindsay scoring a 20-30 on the Edinburgh scale and that anything over 15 is a cause for concern. He confirmed that thyroid blood testing can be beneficial because thyroid issues can cause psychiatric symptoms. He said that Lindsay took a downhill turn about 12 weeks after Callan was born, and that's when her struggle really started. He said that he doesn't recall Lindsay ever complaining of having unaliving others' thoughts. He also said he wasn't aware that the only question asked was whether Lindsay had a plan or not to do these types of acts. To which he said that when she called the unaliving herself hotline, they didn't do anything because she didn't have a plan. He said when women stop breastfeeding, this can cause concerns because it can have an impact on the neurotransmitters in the brain. Lindsay had stopped breastfeeding in October. He explained that neurotransmitters are responsible for things like mood and psychosis and function in many ways. Examples are dopamine and serotonin. Reddington asked about the testimony he gave about Lindsay telling Patrick where the kids were when he got home and how Patrick gave him that info, but in the 911 call, you don't hear her talking at all, you just hear moaning. Basically, he was just taking Patrick's word over hers, essentially. He also said that there was no testing done on the white powder that was found on the tumbler to confirm what that substance was. And when asked about the 2 women he treated with psychosis, which were much different than this case here, he said his overall career focus was to work with patients and to have students there to help them learn how to become better doctors. Dr. Satoff then said that Tufts was very responsive to Lindsay's needs and that her medications were appropriate and reasonable. He also said that her trial and error method was reasonable. And then on redirect, he said that the changes that could have happened due to stopping breastfeeding in October would have likely resolved by January, and that the hotline Lindsay called did suggest things like attended day program or hospitalization. And with that, he was thanked and excused. Then the prosecutor rested, and the evidence in this case is now closed. The jury will return tomorrow for closing arguments, and then they will begin their deliberations. After the jury left, Reddington renewed his motion for a not guilty finding, which was denied. He also asked for a Bowden charge to be given, which is where basically the police investigation was severely lacking. Judge said that he was not going to include that as an instruction to the jury. However, he would advise them or instruct them on manslaughter, which is something that the defense wanted him to do, but the prosecutor had objected to. With that, we are one step closer to seeing how this case ends. Thank you for being here. Thank you for following along. And here's the question of the day. Do you think the prosecutor did enough? Or do you think that there's some things that are missing and things that are lacking, and maybe they should have recalled Patrick Clancy to the stand to discuss some of these incidences and conspiracies and issues that others are having with this case? Let me know in the comments.